FM. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But I encourage you to watch us on SuperTalk TV if you can on your computer or your mobile device. You'll see I'm not alone in the studio today. I got with us Keith Walker, but really Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in the house, obviously, from Mississippi. But no, Keith Walker, he is the host of the Scoreboard show, running 23 years. Have 23. You hosted the whole 23, Keith?
Not the whole 23. I think the show, actually, this is the 30th year, but I've been around with 23 of them with my co-host, Butch Hammock. We started working with Dixon Williams and then on to Will and then Stephen Gagliano and then Lance. Now this is our third year working with Lance.
Well, it seems like you're the sticking stone. Are you the one that keeps churning them out and sending them away, or you just outlasting?
I'm barely outlasting everybody, but we have a fun time with it. It's really fun. We like to promote high school football, and it's really fun here on Friday nights.
Well, I've shared a couple of times, Keith, and I know we're going to get into another story, and we'll hop back to the show and such. But my husband, huge fan, especially, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you didn't have the social media that could give you like up-to-the-minute scores or things of that nature. And so he has been a firm listener to hear what the scores were during those times and listen to all the playback after high school. He's a big consumer of high school football. So less now that we're married and have children who keep us busy, but definitely over the last 23 years, for sure, the Scoreboard show has been part of our Friday nights. A little past my bedtime these days, but
okay. We'll give you a shout out on tonight's show.
Yeah, well, I'll have to be listening for sure. But just because of that, you've also had some personal journeys that I think are definitely a good thing. You have a good message. So where do you want to start in your journey, Keith? When did you realize that maybe taking care of your health was something that you weren't doing the best job at?
Let's see. I would say probably in 2022, it may be routine. I had to have my gallbladder removed, and that maybe might have been the trigger point because I would eat bad. I'm a type person, like everybody usually in the South. I would eat bad. I admit I'd eat fried food and a lot of
that's not illegal.
Things.
It's just
right,
the amount.
Just the amount, but it was like really a high amount. So I kind of traveled a lot to Louisiana and I play some Mississippi great food, but sometimes you consume too much of it gets bad. Okay, so I had the gallbladder removed, and then 2024, the summer of 2024, started kind of feeling bad after I left work. I went back to my hotel, and I threw up, and I thought it might have been like I might have had some bad food. I came back home that weekend. I went to church on Sunday, and I felt so bad. During church service, I had to get up and actually go, and I went to that following Monday because I thought maybe this was related to the gallbladder. I went to the GI folks that helped me out or got me through the gallbladder, and they immediately told me that, hey, I need to go to the emergency room. So I'm freaked out. I go, and in the emergency room, they admit me to the hospital. And this is right before the 4th of July in 2024. I leave. I really couldn't find anything. I went back home. Maybe 2 days later, I felt bad again. So I ended up going to another hospital. And that's when they said, they're shocking you like, hey, Keith, you need to have some surgery. And you need to have some heart surgery. And I'm, freaking out here. I mean, really hadn't had that per se in the family. My father passed away when I was like 3 years old because of heart problems and such, but didn't have it really myself. And then I ended up having, about a 13-hour surgery. And I'm waking up and, bringing the sports into it. I wake up in the recovery room and college football had just started, so I couldn't really open my eyes, but I could hear college football and stuff. And I'm opening my eyes like, hey, I got through this, and it took a while, Rebecca. I kind of basically missed all of last year, at least right before Christmas. The Scoreboard show usually ends around my birthday, and I surprised Lance and the crew. I came in. I would call in a little bit frequently during the season when I got strong enough to do it. But then I kind of surprised them, and I kind of could tell I kind of lifted the crew. And, it's been a battle and such. First part of the year was kind of tough. Kind of got through some things, the flu and everything, but feeling much better now, lost some weight, and getting back to my routine and getting back to traveling and kind of getting back to normal and being able to take better care of myself. And I feel great. And I just, thank my family and my friends for supporting me because, it was a journey.
Keith, but prior to your incident, did they come to find out, was it a heart attack that you had? Were you just having a heart?
I just was having problems. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that.
Prior to that, were you seeing your doctor annually and getting your blood work done and your blood pressure and all of that?
I was seeing a doctor, but I wouldn't. You kind of maybe slacked up on the annual physicals. That's something you probably
should
do. I would say
do.
you should do, and I recommend that you don't want to get to the point where they're telling you need to have the surgery and everything. But I would really take it seriously and with the health and everything, and watching your nutrition and trying to do a little bit of exercise when you can. Even if you do a little bit, you can. But it just at this point now compared to a year ago, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm. Do you still eat the fried chicken?
I eat it. I had to admit I eat maybe one or two bites. Well, we have a segment called Keith McNuggets, so I do cheat and eat some McNuggets once in a while.
So tell us about that segment. How long has it been going on the Scoreboard
Well, we
show?
actually started it this year, Rebecca.
Okay.
Just kind of wanted to spice some things up on the show. We try to keep the guys on their toes, on their toes. And it's a fun little segment. I should have get Caleb. I don't know if Caleb is somewhere around here.
Oh, Caleb's
but I have
listening.
a bell that I ring if you're going to answer right. That's what I like, to ring the bell. Now, if you get it wrong, and Rhino tells me there's some issues back there, you would have a buzzer to zonk you and such. But it's a fun little segment. These guys.
What kind of questions are you asking?
I mean, little high school mascots, certain names or something. I'll get you. Let me see if I can get you on one.
No.
I'll be impressed if you get this one.
Okay.
I know because you and Mr. Turner. He's a big volunteer fan, right?
I'm married into it. Doesn't mean I know anything about it.
Okay. There's one high school in Mississippi that's named the Volunteers as their mascot.
Oh.
I was going to see if you could tell me that. Oh. Now I could give you a hint.
Yeah.
You guys were there recently. The family was there recently. You posted.
Oh, are you stalking me?
No, we're not stalking you.
I'm just totally.
I'm part of the Facebook group.
I'm totally kidding. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if my family was there recently, it would have to be. I'm trying to think. What campus have we been? Clinton.
You're close when you say campus.
Okay, campus. I was like, well, is it a private school?
No. City of Mississippi, you guys were there
City of
recently.
Mississippi. I was trying to think.
There were a lot of other volunteers there.
Were
that
they?
day. I was there.
Were we there for cross country?
No, I'll give you a hint. A lot of volunteers, like a lot of other Vols were there. I was there.
Oh, Mississippi State?
Yes. What's Mississippi State City?
Starkville.
Okay, you get a ding. That's it.
Oh,
Starkville.
wow. I worked hard for
It's
that.
actually Starkville Academy. They're the volunteers.
Okay, I thought we were at the actual. Yes, and me and my youngest left the stadium in the third quarter because I wasn't real sure how that game was going to end.
It was pretty wild.
I wanted to make sure we were back safe wherever it needed to be. But yes, and my husband will say that was one of the most exciting football games. And obviously, it came out better for him and his fans than but just the entire from start to finish that he had ever been to in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one maybe for you and Rhino you can work together on. It's pretty easy. I'll be easy on y'all
Rhino
today.
is a much better
but
trivia
this
than
is easy. You're Brandon, right? So you're eat dirt to you today. But you're a Bulldog, right?
Yes. And Terry High was wearing alma mater.
So I only want maybe 3 other schools that have Bulldogs as a mascot besides Terry and Brandon.
Oh, my God. Rhino? Do you know
I'll
any?
give you a hint. One's here locally, Jackson Public School. They're undefeated this year. That would be Lanier.
I can't think of the one in Jackson, but isn't Van Cleve the Bulldog?
That is correct, Rhino. You would get a ding. You ding, 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 ding. Good job, Rhino. You pulled that one out of the hat. You got another one, Rhino?
I can't think of another one.
Well, you have Bay Springs. You have Clarkdale. You have Aberdeen. There's more Bulldogs than any other name.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right, well, stick with us. We got more with Keith Walker coming up next. App and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station, but you should watch us too. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. You can also watch the Farm Bureau Insurance Company Scoreboard show tonight at 10 p.m. That's every Friday night. Anywhere you listen or watch SuperTalk Mississippi, then you would know the voice of our guest, Keith Walker. He's been with the Scoreboard show for 23 years. What is it about
23 glorious years.
23 glorious years. What is it about football that drew you in? When did you first fall in love with football, Keith?
I guess maybe when I was kind of funny. I can probably go back to my days at Pearl High School. Eat dirt, Rebecca.
You beat me to it.
Eat dirt.
I was letting you finish your sentence.
It was funny. We were actually in the playground. And it was funny. We were playing football, and I actually ended up breaking my leg. But what was kind of funny is I think the people thought I was faking. And then when the bell rang, I was still out in the playground. Everybody went inside. And maybe 20 minutes later, one of the assistant principals, he comes out. He's wearing a short-sleeved shirt. He sees this kid here laying on the ground. And so it's funny. He picks me up, carries me on the shoulder, drags me on the shoulder like a little weight, and I go in there. And I know I scared my mom to death, but it's just kind of always grew up watching it and stuff. And then, but I just really like the high school game and college per se. I'm really a big college fan. I think it's just kind of the pro football. I had season tickets for a while. I was a Saints fan. It's bad this year, but I just like the game of football. I just like just watching these kids have the opportunity now. These kids now that if they work hard at it, now they're getting rewarded. They're being able to get paid and go to school and help out the families at home. It's just really fun. And then when you go to a game on a Friday night, you see the pride in the towns. When I get to travel throughout the state, and I could be somewhere like Amory, Mississippi.
Have you been in a football game in all 82 counties? Or do all 82 counties have a football team? I
hadn't made all 82 counties yet, but I've been a lot of places. Tupelo has a blue field. Mm-hmm. Petal has a great stadium. Oak Grove has a great stadium. Brandon, your Brandon Bulldogs. Now, they're not playing that great this year, but they do have a great stadium. That's just me talking a little smack to you.
I know.
But I got buddies and friends at Brandon.
Where did the Eat Dirt come from? Because, I'm a Terry girl at heart. That's where I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I love Brandon Bulldogs, but I didn't graduate from there. So I don't have that same kind of connection to the rivalries as other people do. But where did that rivalry start between Pearl and Brandon? Which play tonight?
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know, maybe something, but I can tell you something silly we did when we were in school. Do you remember Shoney's, the restaurant?
Absolutely.
They used to have a big boy out in front of it, a statue. Mm-hmm. Used to have one in Pearl. And the Brandon kids would come over during that week, and they would steal our big boy, take it back to Brandon, post it. We didn't have the social media back then, but it would end up in the newspaper or something. So then the Pearl guys would get their revenge, go back and back and forth. And it's just a great smack talk between the communities. Maybe the next time I'm on y'all show, I can tell you where Eat Dirt actually came from. But I've heard different versions of it. I just think it adds to it, just a little smack talk. But it's a friendly rivalry that I'll say this: Brandon's kind of dominated the last several years, but I think Pearl's going to get them this time.
You may have a good chance tonight.
And then we do have a state championship. You do not at Brandon.
Well,
I just had to. It's Halloween.
I will say for Pearl, y'all have a wonderful track team too, track and cross country.
They're really good.
I know more about that.
Brandon has an excellent volleyball.
Mm-hmm, that is true. Yeah.
And my cousin's the head coach basketball coach at Pearl. He's a good coach. Rod Taylor. He's doing great things there. And hopefully the Pirates will get a win tonight. But it's just fun. I remember even, 9/11, in 2001, when everything, including the pros and the college shut down that weekend, Pearl and Brandon went on that Friday night at Brandon. That's when Jarius Norwood, who's a great player at Mississippi State, had played in Brandon. There were 12,000 people in the old Brandon Stadium. They had to turn people away. And that just shows that passion for that football. I'd never forget that night. I mean, Brandon won the game, but just the spirit of the communities coming together when all that was going on and still getting out and supporting the teams in high school football. That's the reason why it's great.
When people tune in to the Scoreboard show, I know they're getting scores. It's in the name. But what else do you and Caleb and Lance and the team bring to the airways every Friday night?
Well, we try humor. But we try to. The main thing also, people call us, Rebecca, and they give reports and talk about their teams. We hear from broadcasters. We hear from fans. We hear from players. Hopefully tonight, there's a good young man, a good quarterback from Germantown High School. They smoked my Pirates a couple of weeks ago, Rebecca, 55-0. His name's King White. I didn't like that, but I'm a fan of King White's, and he's a great player. And they actually beat Madison Central last week for the first time in their school history. So that's cool. You're going to be remembered as a part of that senior class that beat your arch rival. That's the things that make it special. And the bands, the cheerleaders, kind of throw all that in there. That's what makes high school football and everything with it so great.
Well, Terry decided to get better after I graduated, and I kind of took it personally.
They're having a great year this year. They only lost once.
I graduated in like the early 2002, those early 2000 years. There wasn't a whole lot of cheering worth going on. But we graduated, and, man, they took off and have been doing really well.
When you go down 55, you can see they've really done a lot of good things with the school there. Really beautiful, I guess, artwork and stuff. You can see the big Terry Bulldog sign once you go down 55, like on your way to New Orleans and such.
How do you choose which games you go to? Well, I guess you're doing the Scoreboard show on Friday nights, but you still try to catch games.
You'll usually have some that are bigger games. There was some interest just last night. I wanted to see the young man at Ole Miss, Knox Kiffin. They came down here earlier this year, actually a couple of weeks, the week prior they beat Clinton. But that was the first time he actually got to start a road game. He got in and came in for their injured
starter. What grade is he in? He's
a junior.
Okay.
He's played well. Will made the reference. He takes little shots. Will takes the shots at Gainesville High because, the rumors about Lane in Florida wanting him and everything. And Gainesville's a terrible record as far as high school, and it's a good high school. So, obviously, Will, a big Ole Miss fan, wants to Lane to stay. But but all serious, Knox has played really well, and hopefully they'll continue to play well. They're going to be a factor here. Have a chance to maybe win the state championship or at least play for it. I think Oxford's going to be a threat in the North, 7A.
When do playoffs and things like that start for high school?
Actually, they'll get started in MAIS, I believe, this week. And then most the 1, 2, 3, and 4A start next week. Then 7A and 6A, 5A, they have their last regular season games next week. And then everybody will be in the playoffs like the week of the 8th. Everybody should be, let's see, in 2 weeks after that. And then before you know, December 5th, which is my birthday, will be championship.
Just for you.
Week. Well, just for me. Hey, see, that's when I like to usually. Maybe we'll call y'all and give you a report from there or something and just recap the season. But we've had an interesting season. It's really been fun this year.
Do we have a Cinderella story?
I'd say Lanier. They're undefeated this year. And I think Will told us when he filled in for Caleb last week, that's the first time they've been undefeated since Ronald Reagan was in office. We had a team that has not scored any points this year out of the Delta.
Well, don't say their name.
I won't. I wasn't about to.
I was like, leave those boys alone.
But they play hard.
They show up.
They do.
That was Terry for a few years.
You had the situation at Brandon.
That's a polite way to put it.
Right. Coach Pogue has always been good to us. I've known him. Just wasn't maybe the right fit there. Just things didn't go. But I have friends at Brandon, have kids that play at Brandon, and I pull for them every game except this one. tonight.
You're allowed to do that. Will you be there tonight?
I will be there tonight.
You will be there tonight.
And I thank the people out at Pearl for hooking me up with the. I usually go and sit in the press box with. You remember Ray Rogers, who was the representative and the voice of the Pirates, the PA. His grandson is now the public address announcer. So I go sometimes and sit and hang out up there.
Are you going to wear your costume?
Absolutely. Represent.
All righty. What time does the Scoreboard show come on?
10:06.
10:06. Wherever you watch or listen Super Talk Mississippi, you can catch it with Keith Walker and the gang. But stick with us. We got a few more good things for you coming up next.